Party leaders meet tonight in Montreal for the first of two debates. Mark Carney, Pierre Poilievre, Jagmeet Singh, Yves-François Blanchet, and Jonathan Pedneau will square off in French in this two-hour debate. The debate will focus on many issues like the cost of living, energy and climate, and the ongoing trade war, of course, with the U.S. The debate is starting, this is very Canadian, 2 hours earlier than scheduled, beginning at 6 p.m. Eastern, so that it doesn't overlap with the very important Montreal Canadiens game. Joining us this morning is Laurie Turnbull, Professor of Political Science at Dalhousie University. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
So let's start with the poll numbers from Nanos Research showing the Liberals, as of this morning, the Liberals leading at nearly, well, you can see it there on your screen, 45%. The Conservatives, 37.3%, and the NDP hovering around 8%. How important, Laurie, are debates in swaying voters? Do they matter?
Well, I mean, sort of. Like, I think most people who watch debates, they're going to think that whoever their preferred candidate is has won. And so I think if it's going to matter, if it's going to move people's votes, it's really focused on those people who haven't decided yet who they're going to vote for. In this election, I think there's a really heavy sense of consequence. There is a real sense that this election matters. I think largely because of what's going on with our relationship with the U.S., the tariffs, what's down the line. And I think, for that reason, there might be a little bit more attention paid to these debates this time. But I mean, debates are different than they used to be. They're very, very scripted. They're very, it's not like people are going in and having these impassioned, spontaneous exchanges. It's very much, the leaders know exactly what they want to get out there. They've been heavily prepared for this. They've got their sound bites they want to get through. There's not a lot of spontaneity. And so no one is going to be underprepared. No one is going like the knockout punches aren't really, they usually don't happen. And so chances are, no one is going to perform so well or so badly that there's going to be a big shift in popular support.
What does Liberal leader Mark Carney need to do tonight?
Okay, I mean, this is such a different race than we thought it was going to be 6 months ago. Carney's in the lead. Ultimately, he needs to stay there. I think he needs to focus on what makes him a unique candidate. I mean, I think in the last couple of days, and although that poll that you showed earlier has the Liberals quite clearly ahead, but in the last few days, some of the polls have shown a bit of a tightening, that the Liberals were dropping a bit, the Conservatives coming up a bit. And I think that probably has a lot to do with the fact that Trump hasn't been talking at us so much. And so that kind of takes a bit of the focus off of that economic uncertainty question. And then that's the issue that really lifts Carney up above the others, and that, if you can put it that way. And so Carney has to keep the focus on that. He has to show why he's the one that's not like the others. He has to show what his value added is. He is going to be the target. Everybody has, all the opposition parties thought the Liberals were going to go splat and they were all going to pick among the ruins and they were going to be better off. But now Carney's in the lead. And so he will definitely be that focus tonight.
So what does that mean for the Conservative leader, Pierre Poilievre? We know he's a comfortable French speaker. What does he need to do tonight?
Okay, so I mean, I think, as you say, he's more comfortable in French. He doesn't have to worry about that. I think, Carney is going to have to manage this reality of being ganged up on in his second language, and just kind of manage to not take the bait around that stuff and not lose his own message. For Poilievre, honestly, the likelihood that the Conservatives are going to do really well in Quebec is probably pretty low. So it's not like he's got as much riding on it. And I don't think he is going to be the target by any means. He wants to come across, I think, as someone who is more comfortable in French, is aware of the issues that are going on in Quebec, is sensitive to those things, is connecting with voters. But honestly, I don't think Poilievre is going to be the focal point at all tonight. I think this is really going to be about Carney and the key competitor in Quebec, Yves-François Blanchet, who has everything on the line tonight. He's really the one that has to get that message across that Quebec needs its own voice in this uncertain time. And Carney is so popular in Quebec that Blanchet is really the one who has to make a real breakthrough tonight.
We'll be watching that closely. Laurie Turnbull, thanks so much for joining us this morning. Appreciate the tee up.
Thank you, too. Take care.
If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.